Yes, sir. You already know. It's the Cowboys cast. Let's go. Hey, I'm excited, man. It feels like the week has gone by very slow, man. For whatever reason. Hey, we're here, man. It's the Cowboys cast. You already know. We're going to give you the inside scoop on kickoff. See what's going on with the Cowboys. A lot of changes this week. A lot of changes. We're going to see the heart and soul of this Cowboys team because of this shuffle, I should say, of a lot of injured players. But yeah, man, this is going to be a tough one, I think. The Jets are playing hard football. There's a lot of players that are going to be missing today. But hey, I'm excited to see the backups play. I think a lot of people are. But without further ado, man, let's get on it. Here we go. Real quick, there's a lot going on with the Cowboys versus Jets. So Clarence Hill posted on X, right? And I'm going to read it verbatim so everybody knows what's going on. The Dallas Cowboys will play the 4 backups on the offensive line against the Jets today. Dak Prescott is going to have to be on his game again. We all know that. Nate Thomas is starting at left tackle, making his first career start in place of Tyler Guyton. He has a concussion. Akeem Adenchi is starting at left guard in place of Tyler Smith with a knee. He's out with a knee. Brock Hoffman is at center in place of Cooper Beebe, which is his ankle. TJ Bass is a right guard in place of Tyler Booker. And obviously, we all know Terrence Steele is at right tackle. Listen, man, this is huge. I mean, I don't even know if I should go in and over the inactives because, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody knows CeeDee Lamb's out. Kevontae Turpin is out. Tyler Guyton, Tyler Booker's out. Miles Sanders is out. Marshawn Nealand is out. And Jay Tua, defensive tackle, is out. So we all know what that means. Jaden Blue will make his debut this week versus the Jets. I don't know how everybody feels, but it feels like knocking at the door for Jaden Blue. We're going to see what he's got against this Jets defense. So this is the thing. A lot of questions in this game just for the simple fact that we have all these offensive linemen out, all this shuffle going on. So at the end of the day, the only real starter we have is Terrence Steele at right tackle. So it's going to be rough. Dak's going to have to make some adjustments to probably protection when it comes to the passing game. So, but hey, listen, man, this is going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be, I might be wrong, but it might be a little bit closer for the simple fact that Kevontae Turpin will not be in. I think that's going to make it a little bit harder. I believe what Shoddy's probably going to do is rely on that offensive line to try to win this game. I think that's what's eventually going to happen. So we'll see. Ramiro says Sauce will travel with Pickens. This could be tough on Dallas. Yeah. And I was going to get to that, but you brought it up already. I believe defensively, if you're the Jets, Sauce Gardner follows George Pickens wherever he goes. I think that's your best bet to win this game for the simple fact that Kevontae Turpin is not playing today. So I think that's the easiest thing you can expect from the Jets is that Sauce will travel with Pickens 100%. Ram, you're on it. You're on it today, man. You ate your Wheaties, but I believe that's probably a game plan that they will do. And if they don't, shame on them because I know I would do it. But going back to the offensive line, I think they have to rely on that run game heavily for this game so they can win it. Now, the keys to this game, I believe, for the Dallas Cowboys is run the ball, let Dak get into the rhythm a little bit. I wouldn't call it a throwing fair from the beginning, run the ball all the way down the field and score, and then hopefully your defense holds up against um this offense, especially a running quarterback. We've always had problems with running quarterbacks. Um and that's what scares me a little bit about this game. The fact that Justin Fields can run with the ball. So Ram says Sauce traveled 72% of the time according to Brian Broaddus. Okay, so there you go. So he's traveled 72% of the time this year. So you might as well just bet your money that he's going to travel with George Pickens 100%. But going back to Justin Fields, and this running game, man, I think they can run the ball. And especially with Justin Fields, we've always had problems, like I said, with running quarterbacks. I think we have to be able to contain Justin Fields. I don't think, in my opinion, I might be wrong, that he'll burn us deep on deep balls because he doesn't like to throw the ball deep. But we have to be very careful. You know what I mean? Ken's Past Stock says, "What's up, bro? What's up, Ken? Just going over this, man." He said, "Beat those Jets." That's because they're in your division. That's why you're saying that. But I think we pull off the win, man. I don't think it's gonna be pretty. I think it's gonna be ugly. We have one starting offensive lineman starting today. Everybody else is backups. Nate Thomas at left guard. We got a dent. I don't even know how to say his name. I'll try my best. Like I said, we got Akeem Adenchi at starting left guard. We got Brock Hoffman at center. We got TJ Bass at right guard, and then Tyler Booker, because Tyler Booker is out, and then we got Terrence Steele on the right. So it's gonna be tough, man. But we're gonna see what these young cats got. How would you handle Fields? So for Fields, I would probably, I know this is probably going to sound bad. As bad as we've been in coverage, I think you have to try to contain him underneath. I don't think he's going to throw the ball deep. That's just me, though. I think if you have more people in the box, you try to stop the run and let him throw the ball and beat you throwing the ball. That's what I would do defensively with Fields. Ken says, gotta protect Dak. Yeah, we do, man. This is gonna be a tough bunch, but I'll tell you what, this year's offensive line coach has done a great job with this group, especially a lot of players being out and having two backups last game against Green Bay. Man, I'll give him a round of applause, man. Because I'll tell you what, this guy has done a great job, in my opinion. And he did great. He did great. I think it was in Arizona. I know Connor Riley is the offensive line coach, but I think that has an influence from Clayton Adams, the offensive coordinator, technically considered the offensive coordinator. He came from Arizona, and he's done a great job with those offensive line in Arizona, as we know. And he's doing a great job here. Jets D line, really good. Yeah, they are. But I think when you see with the Cowboys, I know there's no Kevontae Turpin, but they really kept Green Bay on their toes. They had no idea what was coming. And I think, in my opinion, that's probably Shoddy's best play calling of the year versus Green Bay. And I think a lot of these players, in my opinion, felt some type of way against that Bears loss. I don't think that was a team that, I'm talking about the Cowboys. I don't think that was a team that they expected to play that way against the Bears. So I think they came out swinging the next game. But listen, man, I feel this is going to be a tough game. But in order for us to keep this momentum, right, even though we tied Green Bay, I think you have to run the ball. Rely on running the ball. I believe Williams is averaging 5 yards a carry. Now we got Jaden Blue in the lineup. So, Jaden Blue's fast. Some of those runs that Miles Sanders going, I think Jaden Blue probably scores on those plays. So we will see. We got to rely heavily on the run game in order to help Dak with this offensive line and let them get in a rhythm, because they really haven't played together other than, practice this week. So you have to rely on the run game, and hopefully the defense can bend but don't break. All right. And then keep Justin Fields contained. I think that's the biggest thing. This guy is not going to throw past 25 yards. That's just not his game plan unless they come out that way. But you need to prepare for that for sure. This team is not going to lay down. I promise you that. They are not going to lay down. So Ken says Buffalo going to destroy us tonight. I'm willing, if I'm a betting man, I'm willing to bet Buffalo's going to destroy the New England Patriots. But this is what I say about that game, because we always talk football here. The thing is with the Buffalo Bills and the Patriots, that's a division game, right? Look, this is the way I feel about division games. You know each other so well that you never know what's going to happen. It could be a blowout or it could be a very close game. But Mike Vrabel is going to do a good job with the Patriots. I think it may be close in the beginning, and then it may just turn into a blowout at the very end. But we will see, man. Mays has to be on his game today in order to try to beat these Bills. Because I guarantee you, they're going to try to stop the run and have Mays try to beat you in the air. I think that's probably their game plan, because they have the back end to do it. The Bills do. So we'll see, man, what happens. Hopefully it's a good game tonight. I hope, but we'll see. Now, how do we pull off the upset? It's easy, man. Easy. This is the way I feel about it. I say, as the Patriots, you rely on the run game, right? But you milk the clock. You have a sustained drive as long as you can to try to keep that offensive Bills on the bench. I think you take up a lot of the quarter. Even if they score quick on you, you got to score touchdowns. I think methodical thinking, methodical drives all the way down the field, take up the clock, and then score, and then hopefully your defense can hold. I think Patriots defense is pretty good. If you can stop them again, then you do the same thing. Methodical drives, small little dump downs, intermediate throws, run the ball, nothing too crazy down the field unless it's wide open. But I think if you do that, I think that's how you control the Bills and keep them on the bench offensively and try to win the game. That's just me. But the more risks you take, I don't know about reward against this team. You got to be very careful. The only reason I say that is because I don't think the Patriots have that explosive player on their offense that scares you. I think that's the only reason I say that. So, Ken, whatever you got to say about that, I say you keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hands, man. I think, yes, that's my whole idea. I think you should take the ball first and don't defer and just drive it down the field and score and take up as much time as you can. I agree 100%. 100%. But going back to the Cowboys, so defensively, like I said, I think the biggest thing is containing Justin Fields and Breece Allen, man. I think those guys are really, really good. I think you have to be very careful. And look, don't look past the Jets, man. They're a really good team. So we need to be very careful of this New York Jets team, because even though they're 0-4, man, they do not play that way. You know what I'm saying? So, Brian, let's give Brian a round of applause. That's my whiskey club, the Whiskey Dinks. He's part of the Whiskey Dinks. Cowboys win this one 31-17. 31-17, huh? Okay. Ken says, I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem, brother. Ram says, from what you have seen, how good is this Jets D? I mean, I think the Jets defense is actually pretty good. Their front four is really stout. The only problem is, the problem with the Jets is their offense. It's not their defense. Their defense is actually pretty good. The problem is their offense can't do anything, and you keep that defense on the field for so long, it hurts that defense because they're on the field for so long. So I think it's a pretty good defense. It just doesn't show it because you're 0-4. And look, the Jets lost to the Steelers 34-32 the first game. The Bills crushed them 30-10. Then they barely lost to the Buccaneers 29-27, and that's a good offense. Then the Dolphins beat them, which they had to rebound. But I don't think this defense is as bad as people think. I think they're a lot better than people think. Ken says, how you feel about Pickens versus Sauce? I think they play mainly zone. Nope, I don't think so. We talked about it earlier. Ram brought it up. Sauce travels 72% of the time with their number one receiver throughout the season so far. What do you think is going to happen in this game? I think Sauce Gardner follows George Pickens maybe the whole game, if not, but I would say 75% of the time he will. So I think that's what they do. They take out George Pickens. Kevontae Turpin's not playing today. So Ferguson and the other group has to beat you. That's how I would do it too. I would follow George Pickens with Sauce and then have Ferguson and the group beat me. And if that's the case, then I can live with that. I think that's what happens, in my opinion. And I think if you're the Jets and you don't do that, then you're doing yourself a disservice, in my opinion. So that's my thought on it. So defensively, like I said, I think we need to stop the run. I would stack the box. I don't care what anybody says. Justin Fields has to beat me throwing the ball to win this game. So that's my opinion. Ken says, I want to see more from Tolbert. I'm not going to lie. Tolbert's actually played pretty solid this year so far. Other than a couple of drops, I think he's played pretty solid, though. He's going to have to showcase himself. Flournoy, Tolbert, all those guys are going to have to show up today for sure because of Kevontae Turpin. So we will see, man. I wonder if Jaden Blue's going to return kicks and punts and all that since Kevontae is out. But we will see, because usually I want to say Sanders does that. But we will see, man. Again, I'm going to go over it one more time just so everybody's tracking, everybody understands what's going on, and you're up to date, right? The Cowboys offensive line will have 4 backups in this game, all right? It's Nate Thomas at left tackle, Akeem Adeniji at left guard. You have Brock Hoffman at center. You have TJ Bass at right guard, and Terrence Steele is the only person starting at right tackle. So everybody understands that the Cowboys will be playing 4 backups on the offensive line. This is going to be very interesting. But we will see what happens, man. We are about 7 to 10 minutes from kickoff. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming in. Brian said 31-17, man. We'll see. Let's see. What's my prediction? I feel like it's going to be low scoring, but I might be wrong. I'm going to go with 24-17 Cowboys. I don't know if it's going to be a high scoring game. I might be wrong, but I say 24-17 Cowboys. And I'm hoping that Jaden Blue has a breakout game in this game with his speed. We will see, but this offensive line has to show up. Again, 4 backup offensive linemen for the Dallas Cowboys will start this game. And it's going to be very interesting to see these young guys play against this defense. This defense is ferocious, man. I don't think it gets its credit for being 0-4. So we will see. But hey, this is the Cowboys Cast. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We are on Facebook, TikTok. We are on everything, man. So make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you guys. Have a blessed Sunday. I hope you and your family are blessed. And then have a great week. We will see you next week. We love you guys. Have a great day. And as always, keep it real.